Well, the prosecutors who are completing their investigation into Khashoggi's disappearance are not going to believe this story, that's for sure. You know, if somebody collapses after a fist fight and suffers a heart attack, the normal reaction is to call an ambulance and take him to hospital. Now, that didn't happen. Instead, the Saudis buried him secretly. And if you bury somebody in a secret place, it's because you don't want anybody to see the body. Turkish prosecutors might ask the Saudis to find out from the 18 people whom they announced had been arrested a few hours ago where Khashoggi is buried, so that his body can be exhumed, an autopsy can be conducted, and one can find out what was the cause of the death. Now, Turkish officials have long been saying that they believe, largely from an audio recording, which they apparently got from Turkish surveillance of the consulate, that Khashoggi was tortured, his fingers were cut off, and then his body was dismembered. Now, if the Saudis reveal where Khashoggi is buried, we will see whether the torture version is true or not. Now, another factor of the prosecutor's investigation is we know the names and professions of the 15-man delegation that Saudi Arabia sent to Turkey that went to the consulate on the day Khashoggi was killed. We've got their photographs and names as they pass through the immigration department at Ataturk airport. One of them is a forensic scientist who apparently arrived with a toolkit. Now, if all the Saudis wanted to do with Khashoggi in the consulate was question him, you don't need a forensic scientist. A forensic scientist is not trained in interrogating anybody. They are trained in cutting up bodies.
Now, Jasper, where exactly is Turkey's investigation at right now?
Well, the Turks have searched the consulate, they've searched the consul's house, the consul's vehicles, and according to Reuters, they even went to a forest outside Istanbul yesterday where they think Khashoggi might have been killed. In their search, they've used a blue light and luminol, which can apparently detect whether blood was spattered on walls that had been painted over. And President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has said that some walls appear to have been painted over. They've also got this audio recording in which, as the torturers were working on Khashoggi, you hear the consul's voice saying, "Do it outside or I'll get into trouble." And one of the torturers tells the consul to shut up. Now, the Saudi statement that Khashoggi died in the consulate, which they produced a few hours ago, came a few hours after President Recep Tayyip Erdogan spoke on the telephone to the Saudi king, King Salman, late last night. Now, we don't know what President Erdogan said, but the Anatolian news agency said they spoke about both countries' investigations into Khashoggi. And clearly, after the conversation, King Salman drew the conclusion that his government could no longer say that Khashoggi left the consulate alive. I think the Saudis have made a mistake. When they changed their version of what happened to Khashoggi, they were admitting that their first version was a lie. And this version, that he died after a fist fight, sounds so implausible that it looks as if they are still not telling the world the truth.